When the defending champions from Germany took on South Korea, a lot of people thought we would see the Germans at their best, under the most heat that they had faced since their venue had moved to Dallas from Chicago. And it was the Germans who were hot early. Hassler finding Klinsmann on this quick turnaround goal. More of the German attack, getting more support from players like Buchwald and Karl-Heinz Riedler on this rebound. Riedler's only bright moment of the World Cup. And if you want more, you go with your number one guy, and that's Klinsmann. The Germans were off to the races, leading 3-0.
And in the second half, it was a totally different picture. The Koreans rallied and came back and scored an early goal. They had prepared for conditions like this by training in very hot and humid weather, and they were ready. The Germans were not. They began to wilt and giving up a lot of possession to the South Koreans, who took advantage with another great second half goal. 3-2, and the Germans barely hung on. They won, but it was yet another unsatisfying victory. This was the final match for Ireland and Norway in Group E, and this match would help determine who would advance to the next round. Fans came out in all kinds of colorful array, and Jack Charlton, Ireland's coach, was suspended for this game by FIFA for his misbehavior on the sideline against Mexico. It was a tight, tense match with very few chances for either team, and pretty safe goalkeeping at both ends. The luck was with the Irish, and when travel plans were made, the Irish were going to Orlando, the Norwegians to Oslo.
RFK Stadium was the site for this important group of death matchup between Mexico and Italy. And when Italy scored off this Albertini pass to Daniele Massaro, it was Italy in the driver's seat, leading Mexico 1-0. But Mexico would come back from just outside the penalty area. Marcelino Bernal will pull the trigger, sending Mexico into a tie and their fans into ecstasy. Mexico would win the group. Italy would advance but finish a disappointing third. The teams were Russia and Cameroon. But before this game was over, everyone talked about one man, Oleg Salenko. He scored 5 goals.
So Salenko broke the single-game scoring record, but it wasn't enough to help his team advance. Brazil and Sweden in the indoors of Pontiac. And Brolin, so skillful out of midfield, looks up and sends the perfect pass to Kenneth Anderson, whose shot beats Taffarel for the first time in the World Cup. In the second half, Romario took over with his challenging run right through the center of the defense and produced the goal that gave Brazil the 1-1 tie. So the coaches shared the joy and the points. Who could have known then they would meet again?
Up to this point, we had still not seen our best from Holland as they prepared for the match with Morocco. But it was Holland getting off to the better start thanks to the individual brilliance of their great scorer, Dennis Bergkamp.
But questions had been raised about the lack of speed in the center of the Dutch defense, and here they are outpaced by Moroccan Nader as he scores the tying goal.
But Holland would come back and score what proved to be the game-winning goal on this shot by Roy, making their crowd happy, even though they know they have still not seen the best of Holland. Holland wins the group to advance, while Morocco would go home. For a team that was making their first ever appearance in a World Cup, Saudi Arabia was not only having fun, but they were getting results. In this match against Belgium, we probably saw the finest goal in the World Cup tournament by Oweren.
Well, they don't ski in Saudi Arabia, but watch Saeed Oweren slalom his way through the defense as he beats 1, 2, and 3 players with great skill and great timing and balance and composure at the end to find the upper corner of the net with this beautiful finishing touch.
But the underdog Saudi Arabian team was not playing for a 1-0 win. They were still going forward offensively and almost made it a 2-0 game on this great run, and near finish by Falata. Saudi Arabia won it by a 1-0 score, and even great goalkeepers know they can be beaten.
Clemens Westerhoff, the Dutchman who has spent the last 5 years in Nigeria preparing this team for the World Cup. And his efforts paid off late in the first half on this beautiful little chip over the Greek defense by George. And by George indeed, that is some celebration by the Nigerians. They protected the lead well into the second half and then realized that 1 goal more could have added significance. And Amokachi broke through and fired this beautiful shot into the upper corner. That was the goal that won the group for Nigeria and made them proud carriers of the African tradition in the World Cup. Their reward, a date in Foxborough Stadium with powerhouse Italy.
Argentina fans hopeful for a great game from their side, knowing that they were without Diego Maradona for the first time. Without Diego, they threatened early, but Mikhailov made a big save for Bulgaria. His counterpart, Islas, didn't do the same against the great Stoichkov. Bulgaria would take a 1-0 lead. Stoichkov would end up with 6 goals in this '94 World Cup. Bulgaria got some help from Sirikov in injury time. This goal was a great one for Bulgaria. It won the game for them 2-0, but it also made Nigeria the champions of Group D. A stunned Argentina, though, would also advance. 24 teams came to the first stage. Only 16 would remain after. But what will always remain are the lasting memories of every match and every team.